Welcome! This is Motoring Today, the Philippines' premier and longest-running weekly motoring news and features TV and online magazine, now celebrating its 33rd anniversary. I'm Ray Louie Gamboa.
And I'm Susie Gamboa. On this incredible milestone for our show, we shall give you the features that are relevant in our country today. On Motoring Forum, we shall have Transport Secretary Arthur Tugade with insights on the department's GCQ plans. Our road safety reminder on the Young Street Smarts portion centers on who has the right of way when there is no stop line on the main road. This week's Spying Chuper shall be about the importance of following the rule on the yellow box. The public service segment centers on risks for bikers passing through C5. Showcase this week shall have the compact sedan from Toyota, the 2020 Corolla Altis 1.8 V-Hybrid CVT. While for race weekend, we'll look back on the first round of the 2020 Super Sprint Series.
All of these plus the latest news in transportation and traffic management, as well as developments in the automotive industry, are in this week's anniversary episode of Motoring Today. Join us.
Dad, naflatan kami.
Dad? Dad?
You okay? Iwan mo na yan. Ako na bahala dyan. Let's go. Hatid ko na kayo. Tara. Excuse me? Let's go!
Thank you. You always have my back.
Have fun.
I will.
Welcome back to Motoring Today. Here are the latest news and developments in transportation and traffic management. Following the release of the DPWH's Order on Construction Safety Guidelines, Metro Pacific Tollways South Management Corporation, or MPT South, has resumed construction-related activities for Cavitex and Cala-X, the company's big-ticket projects. DPWH Secretary Mark Villar said that the department needs to get projects back on track, especially those that are under the Build program of the government, as those are expected to spur and sustain economic growth. MPT South has resumed the road widening construction for Cavitex R1, second phase of bridge works in Parañaque, Las Piñas, and Wawa, and now at 55% completion. Right-of-way acquisitions for the Cavite segment and subsection 4 of the Cala-X are still ongoing. Subsection 5, meanwhile, is at 96%. For the Cavitex C5 Link Segment 3A2 and Segment 2, right-of-way acquisitions are at 81% progress. MPT South President and General Manager Bobby Bontia said that acceleration of the project's completion is being considered by the company as the government focuses on this. They also made sure that works are in accordance to the guidelines of the DPWH and the Department of Health. DPWH Secretary Mark Villar recently inspected the construction works at the NLEX Harbor Link C3 to R10 section, which will extend its Segment 10 to Radio Road 10 via the C3 road. During the said inspection, Secretary Villar announced that the deck slab concreting works are now at 100%, with which the project is expected to be completed by June 15. He noted that it was supposed to be completed on a prior date, but works were suspended for 2 months as restricted by the enforcement of enhanced community quarantine. Once completed, the Harbor Link project is expected to cut travel time from Quezon City to Manila from 2 hours to only 10 minutes. It will also provide direct access between the port area and the northern provinces of Luzon. Prior to the resumption of public transportation, the DOTR and the LTFRB have partnered with the MMDA in conducting an operational dry run and site inspection along EDSA. Transport officials, led by DOTR Secretary Arthur Tugade, and various government agencies laid out their network plan and ironed out measures to be implemented along EDSA, which again has accommodated volumes of motorists and commuters under general community quarantine. According to the department, the new traffic scheme in EDSA will be done in 2 phases: the creation of median bus lanes and the rationalization of routes. In the transformation, MMDA General Manager Jojo Garcia said that public transportation, like buses, will be given a dedicated lane on the left side to prevent the stop-and-go habit of bus drivers. He added that dedicated loading and unloading stops will be assigned. Meanwhile, MMDA Chairman Danny Lim said that an additional lane measuring about 1.5 meters will be generated for bike lanes to complement the DOTR's promotion of non-motorized transportation. And those are the latest news in transportation and traffic management. Coming up next is Motoring Forum, brought to you by Suzuki Philippines. These are anxious, critical times. Metro Manila is now under General Community Quarantine, or GCQ, with more people finally allowed out of their homes to hopefully return to work and their livelihoods. Mass transportation is crucial. On Motoring Forum this week, we shall have Transport Secretary Art Tugade's presentation on its GCQ plans for public transport. By the time GCQ is imposed, it is hoped that businesses, shops, and trades allowed to resume operations are implementing the guidelines and other protocols mandated or recommended by health authorities to restrict, if not stop, the spread of the coronavirus. Transport authorities have, before the start of GCQ, disseminated guidelines and protocols for the private and public transport allowed under this next phase towards the return to normalcy, at least what should be normal until a vaccine or effective treatment is found to combat COVID-19. The list of allowed transport has been all over social and traditional media, generating the usual anxious, snide, or constructive comments. Sadly, more of anxious than constructive. And while many feared chaos and confusion, others prayed for common sense, compliance, courtesy, and discipline to prevail as authorities move to restart the economy. The more practical and rational expect chaos on the first couple of GCQ days, but express optimism that people will learn to live with and adapt to the new normal while remaining careful to protect themselves and others against contagion. In his presentation, Secretary Tugade said that the DOTR is mandated to provide transportation, mobility, and convenience among the population, and is now also vested with a responsibility to help prevent the spread of COVID-19.
The approach of the Department of Transportation is partial, gradual and calculated, and more importantly, by phases.
From the railways, Secretary Tugade has assured that operations restart on the first day of GCQ and claimed that the department is ready for this.
On the first day that we transition and it's put into effect, we can already put into operation our train and rails operation. Namarkahan na yung bawat upuan, namarkahan na yung bawat alley, namarkahan na yung pagbili ng ticket, namarkahan na yung queuing.
Stressing his responsibility to help stop the spread of the virus, Secretary Tugade has reiterated that passenger capacity will remain limited.
We have to balance our mandate to provide transportation with our responsibility to help in the spread of the virus. Therefore, the capacity will also be limited, gradual, and calculated. It will be an average of 10 to 12% sa LRT at MRT. Doon sa PNRO, ang capacity, mga 35%.
In the road sector, complementing the limited capacity of railways, the DOTR has what it calls the bus augmentation system.
Ikakasaho namin yung operation ng tren with a bus operation following the same line. Para nang sa ganon, ma-achieve natin more or less yung tinatawag na volume of passengers that move. Ito hong bus augmentation system ay magkakaroon ng tinatawag na dedicated lane sa EDSA, mid lane. Ibig sabihin, may tatakbo ho dyan na bus.
Prior to these, the department has also announced the allowable mode of public transport, such as P2P buses, taxis, and transport network vehicle services, which now also come with cashless transactions as part of the new normal.
Umpisahan natin part of the new normal. Magkakaroon ho tayo ng digitalized operation sa taxi, sa bus, na kung saan merong cashless transaction, again, to help prevent the spread of the disease. Ito na ho yung mga card system. Ginagawa ho at gagawin ho namin sa taxi at saka mga modernized jeepney at sa bus yan.
As the department pushes for the use of non-motorized transportation, the DOTR is also working on including bike lanes on EDSA.
Nakikipagkapit-bisig kami sa MMDA at the Department of Public Works para maumpisahan at buhayin ulit yung tinatawag na bicycle lane. Pag ito ho na-prove sa aming eksperimento na kaya, gagawin ho namin yung strukturang permanent. Sabihin ko lang ho na yung bicycle lane will not be limited to EDSA. It will be limited to parts of the country if it works.
Many are hoping that the phasing of reintroducing various modes of transport in Metro Manila and other areas has been calculated to coincide and meet the demands of the phased reopening of sectors in the economy. But the success of the DOTR's initiatives will, in the end, be determined by the public adapting to and accepting the new norms, modes, and health safety protocols for private and public transport. That was Transport Secretary Arthur Tugade on the department's mass transportation plans as Metro Manila moves to GCQ. Our feature this week on Motoring Today's Motoring Forum, brought to you by Suzuki Philippines.
Dad, naflatan kami.
Dad? Dad?
You okay? Iwan mo na yan. Ako na bahala dyan. Let's go. Hatid ko na kayo. Tara. Excuse me? Let's go!
Thank you. You always have my back.
Have fun.
I will.
You are back with us here on Motoring Today, and we now have this week's valuable motoring tips, starting off with some road safety reminders from Toyota Motor Philippines.
If you're on the main road at kung nasa stopline ka na, bigyang daan ang mga sasakyang galing sa lane na walang stopline. As seen on the animation, the blue car has the right of way. Keep this in mind to avoid meeting accidents on the road.
Tips for you here on Motoring Today. Proper driver's demeanor while behind the wheel from Mitsubishi Motors Philippines.
Payong tsuper lang, kaibigan. Ako si Alan, isang kapwa nyo tsuper. Ito'y isang paalala na huwag huminto sa loob ng yellow box.
Ang mga yellow box na matatagpuan sa intersections ay dapat palaging bakante kahit pa naka-green ang traffic light. Kapag nakahinto ang kabilang bandang intersection, mas mabuting maghintay ng tamang pagkakataon bago lumampas sa yellow box.
Tandaan, sumunod sa yellow box rule upang maging maayos ang ating takbo sa kalsada. Ito po si Jose Alan Mendoza, payong tsuper lang, kaibigan, mula sa isang kapwa nyo tsuper.
Dad, naflatan kami.
Dad? Dad?
You okay? Iwan mo na yan. Ako na bahala dyan. Let's go. Hatid ko na kayo. Tara. Excuse me? Let's go!
Thank you. You always have my back.
Have fun.
I will.
Continuing with our anniversary episode, we now welcome you to Motoring Today's World of Motorsports. We start with the latest news and developments. After races were put on hold due to COVID-19 pandemic that has affected people all over the world, Formula One has recently announced that its 2020 season will start on July with the Austrian Grand Prix at the Red Bull Ring. Addressing criticisms that it's still too early to start the season, F1 said that a detailed plan has been laid out and are being supported by the Fédération Internationale de Automobile, F1 teams, drivers, promoters, partners, and governments. It added that meetings were held prior to the announcement to ensure safety and lessen risks for all those involved in the races. To ensure safety, all personnel will be tested before a race weekend. Guidelines of local governments will be followed, and personal protective equipment and hygiene materials will be provided by the race promoter. A 2-meter social distancing will also be enforced not only at race venues but for travel and accommodation as well. With these measures at hand, F1 is confident that on-track action will be as fierce as always and promises that when global situation allows, fans can attend races in the future. Here's the Formula One's 2020 race calendar. More in the world of motorsports here on Motoring Today, as we look back on the highlights of this year's local motorsports on Race Weekend. The Super Sprint Series was established late last year to provide an accessible, affordable, and fun entry-level event for motorsports enthusiasts looking to try their hand at racing. It also drew a lot of racing newbies with little to no experience in organized motorsports competitions. Over 3 rounds late in 2019, intermediate drivers also participated in the series to hone their skills in competition setting. This is also coming true in the first round of the 2020 Super Sprint Series. After a 3-leg stretch last year, the Super Sprint Series is back for another season of racing here at the May Kawayan Commercial Complex in Bulacan. So, let's go check it out. After just holding 3 rounds in its inaugural year, the Super Sprint Series appears to have gained enough of a following to hold more rounds in its second year. It has succeeded to draw lots of entries from ranked amateurs to intermediate drivers, many out to enjoy the experience of racing in a safe, controlled environment, others looking to discover whether they have the talent and aptitude to be competitive in the sport. The Super Sprint Series may also have been discovered by the more serious racers as another venue for honing their skills in preparation for competing in other more established and competitive series. Among them is Ryan LeBlanc. Okay, so we're here with one of the most consistent drivers that we have for PAX, for slalom, for Super Sprint, you name it, Mr. Ryan LeBlanc. Hi, Ryan, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me at here at Super Sprint.
Yeah, so can you just give us your thoughts about the Super Sprint Series as a whole? May nakikita ka bang difference or is it somewhat the same as what you drive in PAX and with slalom?
Dito po sa Super Sprint, mas madali siya compared dun sa Philippine Autocross. So, ang ano lang namin is mas ma-practice pa namin yung driving skill namin. Then, yung mga kasama ko rin sa team, inaano ko rin sila na ma-push pa yung skill nila dito sa Super Sprint para in preparation syempre para sa mga ibang events like Philippine Autocross and Slalom.
Yung PAX, nagkakaroon din ng races dito sa May Kawayan eh. So, gaano ka different yung course na ginagawa dito compared to sa PAX?
Dito sa Super Sprint, madali yung track kasi ano lang, yung racing line mo, hindi complicated unlike Philippine Autocross. Susundan mo lang talaga yung mga cones din, yung mga chicane. Basic lang talaga yung track. Unlike dun sa Philippine Autocross, head-to-head din kayo maglalaban. And yung design, mas madali, lalo na sa mga beginners.
Alright, Mr. Ryan Leblanc, hope to see you on the next legs of PAX and of course Slalom. Thank you very much.
Thank you po sa Motoring Today.
The first round of the 2020 Super Sprint Series also sees many racers who won class championships in 2019. Under Super Sprint regulations, those who finish a season as class champions will be forced to level up. This apparently is meant to maintain the competitiveness of each class and provide more drivers opportunities to become champion themselves. While the track layout remains designed for beginners, Super Sprint organizers has decided to add new technical challenges to spice up the competition and help entries level up their skills.
My experience with this race for this year is different from last year since we have 360 obstacles right now. Last year, we don't have like that. Long track siya. So talagang hihingalin yung sasakyan ko kasi iyon lang gamit ko.
The Super Sprint Series also has drawn entries from racing families like Ricardo Di Liaco and Pauline Bautista, who both pointed to respective fathers as their main influencers.
I grew up in a racing ganito. So parang I wanted to continue dad's steps. Kasi syempre si Kuya, he's getting old too.
My dad and my uncle, I saw how they drive and I want to be like them. Kaya nag-join ako sa mga autocross. I want to enhance my skill and hopefully become like them someday.
Teeners Pauline and Ricardo competed in the same class and category in 2019, but found themselves bonding over their love for motorsports.
It's actually fun kasi parang bonding na rin yun eh. So syempre, iba talaga pag parehas kayo ng passion. Then support mo pa yung isa't isa. Nabibuild rin yung pagiging competitive sa isa't isa.
This year, Pauline hopes that not competing in the same class as Ricardo would allow her to shine more in Super Sprint.
Sa Super Sprint kasi, siya kalaban ko. Since ngayon kasi, hindi ko na siya kalaban. So parang medyo confident na ako.
Like many of the Super Sprint entries this year, both expect to be active players in the series to provide more seat time in competition and improve their driving chops.
Still enhancing my skills pa kasi. So parang another way of practicing autocross. Like, same as sa PAX, ganun.
I still want to learn and we learn new things every day.
And what are their expectations from another season of Super Sprint?
Hopefully, maka at least 10 rounds or 10-9 rounds usually kasi. Like sa PAX, ganun. And then, ayun nga, sana more beginners will come and try to join the sport.
To learn more and to have a good standing, hopefully. And okay naman yung event eh.
That's it for our coverage of the first round of the Super Sprint Series for the year 2020. Check us out again next week for more race weekend action.
At the start of the year, we've seen young people falling in love with and while racing, which would make some exciting and dramatic storylines. Race weekend will surely follow these once we get back on the track. And that's this week's World of Motorsports. Motoring Today continues right after this break.
Dad, naflatan kami.
Dad? Dad?
You okay? Iwan mo na yan. Ako na bahala dyan. Let's go. Hatid ko na kayo. Tara. Excuse me? Let's go!
Thank you. You always have my back.
Have fun.
I will.
Welcome back to Motoring Today. The auto industry now takes center stage.
Sojitz Auto Philippines, or SGAP, publicly launched the all-new Geely Azkara through Facebook and YouTube. Days before that, SGAP gave media a preview of its latest offering in the local market through an online presentation. The Geely Azkara is a compact SUV that uses what the company calls mild hybrid technology. It is a 48V electric motor synergy model which runs in a 1.5-liter turbocharged gasoline engine complemented by a 48V starter generator, a 48V12 DC-DC converter, a 48V lithium-ion battery module, and battery management system. SGAP believes that the local market is ready for a very affordable compact SUV that features hybrid engine technology as well as luxury brand-level trim and comfort and convenience features. SGAP President and CEO Mikihisa Takayama said that the auto industry is now gearing towards hybrid and electric vehicle technology as it becomes increasingly popular. Geely Auto Group CEO An Kongwi, for his part, said that the Geely Azkara is an affordable luxury SUV. He is also confident that it will bring more enjoyable experience with its technological power, refined interior, healthy space, and safety features. And interestingly enough, among features Geely highlighted at its launch is the CN95 cabin filters designed to effectively filter out dust, harmful gases, particulate matter of 2.5 particles, droplets with diameter larger than 0.74 microns, which are often attached to coronavirus. Auto distributors are coming out with promos that they say will help the buyers overcome the challenges brought about by the COVID-19 pandemic. Suzuki Philippines is back with offers that will open doors for more opportunities as it begins to take steps to rebuild and bounce back from setbacks caused by the recent pandemic. Suzuki vehicles are available in the following discounts, which varies in Visayas and Mindanao dealers. They added that with its exciting and reasonable promos, businesses have more options to choose from in seeking the right vehicle to accommodate them during these times. BMW Philippines has recently unveiled 3 new variants of the 5 Series, the X3 and the Z4, in a virtual event attended by select members of the motoring media. For the 5 Series is the BMW 520i Sport. This features new exterior design elements and 19-inch wheels. It also comes with Apple CarPlay as standard. Under its hood is a 2-liter BMW twin-power turbo 4-cylinder gasoline engine that produces 184 horsepower and 290 Nm of torque. This is priced at 4,290,000 pesos. The BMW X3 xDrive 20D Business, meanwhile, features new exterior trim and design elements, also equipped with Apple CarPlay, and is powered by 2-liter BMW twin-power turbo 4-cylinder diesel engine that generates 190 horsepower and 400 Nm of torque, and retails at 3,990,000 pesos. For the Z4, a limited edition M40i Frozen Edition will be sold in the country with only 5 units. Each of them features Frozen Grade 2 paintwork from BMW individual. The 3-liter BMW twin-power turbo 6-cylinder gasoline engine has also been updated to offer 387 horsepower and 500 Nm of torque. The BMW Z4 M40i Frozen Edition is priced at 5,990,000 pesos. All these new BMW vehicles come with a 5-year or 200,000-kilometer warranty, whichever comes first, and are now available in its showrooms. Aside from the introduction of these BMW models, the company has also launched its BMW Digital Showroom for everyone's safety and convenience with the ongoing health crisis that we're in. SMC Asia Car Distributors Corporation President Spencer Yu said that one of their main thrusts is to strengthen its presence digitally, and with the introduction of their online platform, customer interaction and learning more about the brand will be easier and more convenient. Toyota Motor Philippines disinfects interiors of vehicles being serviced at Toyota dealerships until June 16 free of charge. This is one of the promos being undertaken by Toyota as the country transitions to GCQ, known as the Welcome Back promo. It covers the use of the Toyota Bactalins, an antibacterial treatment proven to eliminate 99.99% of bacteria, molds, and fungi under the vehicle, which can cause allergy and other health concerns. Toyota added that based on medical research and studies, sage oil, which is one of its active ingredients, is found to be effective in reducing the spread of common colds and influenza.
Our Car of the Week is next on Showcase, courtesy of Prudential Guarantee. The Toyota Corolla Altis stands as one of the best-selling models in the local market, and it's all attributed to its styling and reliable features. As if that's not enough, Toyota has found a new way to reinvent the well-loved compact sedan and turn it into something more significant in today's world. On this showcase, we're featuring the 2020 Toyota Corolla Altis Hybrid. That was the 2020 Toyota Corolla Altis 1.8V Hybrid CVT, a compact sedan that best reflects a much-needed significant growth. Our featured vehicle in this week's showcase, courtesy of Prudential Guarantee.
Drive worry-free with Prudential Guarantee's auto insurance program with a free 24-hour nationwide roadside assistance included with your comprehensive auto insurance. Rest assured, we'll take care of you and your car wherever you are. Prudential Guarantee's auto insurance program, 100% worry-free driving.
Dad, naflatan kami.
Dad? Dad?
You okay? Iwan mo na yan. Ako na bahala dyan. Let's go. Hatid ko na kayo. Tara. Excuse me? Let's go!
Thank you. You always have my back.
Have fun.
I will.
We now have our public service segment brought to you by Honda Cars Philippines.
Even before the national government's announcement that Metro Manila will be under General Community Quarantine or GCQ, the Department of Transportation has been encouraging the public to use non-motorized modes of transportation, such as bicycles and e-scooters. On public service this week, we shall focus on the risks for those using the former. The DOTR recently partnered with the MMDA in providing bike lanes in the Metro's major thoroughfares, particularly on EDSA, and has more and more opted to use this mode. As we all know, highway roads cater to all types of vehicles, big and small. We passed through some of these and bike lanes are still nowhere to be seen, with cyclists taking the risk of biking beside huge vehicles. We hope not, but with this setup, cyclists are prone to accident and has no protection. We shall be asking the MMDA on what they intend to do on this matter.
That was our public service segment from Honda Cars Philippines. And may we remind you once again that if you come across any motoring issue or problem, please feel free to let us know about it. Take a look at your screens for our contact details. And that's the week that was in motoring. Thank you so much for joining us on our anniversary episode. Also, please don't forget to check us out on our social media accounts.
Until next week here on Motoring Today, now on its 34th year of continuing service to the general motoring public with a lifelong commitment to promote road safety. Please continue to be safe at all times. On behalf of Butch Gamboa, our dad, I'm Ray Louie Gamboa.
And I'm Susie Gamboa.
Happy motoring!